House Minority Whip Steve Scalise and former White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer are with us. That close, we've heard it a lot. It's a pretty powerful close to a speech. You see the crowd, Steve Scalise, and you see what's going on where you work over in that beep hole, the swamp, the shift show, and you look at the reaction of people. You looked at what happened at the national championship game last night. If I'm a Democrat and I'm watching this all unfold, I'm not that confident tonight.
Well, they shouldn't be, Sean. And I had the honor to be with President Trump last night at the national championship game and was really happy to see LSU complete a magical season.
By the way, what am I doing wrong? I never get these invitations. Do you, Sean? Do you get those invitations? I didn't get an invitation. I would have loved to have gone to the national championship game and hung out with Vince Vaughn, the president, First Lady.
And a lot of other people that wanted to come see the president. But, Sean, and I'd invite you and Spicer over there anytime. But, you know, when you talked about
after
what the
fact,
president
but
experienced.
Who's counting? All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's right. Well, and hopefully there'll be more to come. But when the president walked out on the Superdome floor and, you know, he and Melania were there looking wonderful, the crowd went wild, just like you heard there in Wisconsin. In fact, when he came to the seats after he was on the field leading the national anthem, when he came to the seats, the people around us stood up and started applauding and chanting USA, Sean. That's what this president means to the forgotten men and women of this country. That's what the media, the far left, the radicals up here in Washington that are running with Pelosi, trying to run this country into the ground, they don't get that. They don't understand that there are millions of people that were left behind by Washington, and President Trump is fighting for them. He's delivering for those very people, and they're responding, and they're going to respond later this year. You know, they can keep going on with all of these witch hunts and everything else they're trying to do to stop this president, but they're not going to be successful because he's delivering for those men and women that he said, I'm going to do these things for you, and he's done them. He's followed through on the promises. Hottest economy in the world, securing our border, defending our country, killing terrorists, and they want to actually criticize him for killing terrorists who killed hundreds of American men and women, service members. They are so out of touch with the rest of America, Sean, and they don't understand how President Trump is delivering, and they don't see those people responding like I get to see, like you get to see, when they get excited about the fact that President Trump has done this for them. They're going to be there to do it and make sure he can do it for them for another 4 years this November.
And Sean Spicer, you know, you put it all in context and perspective here, because we're going to see the shift sham show, you know, unfold in the next coming day. Now they got new evidence, but they definitively declare the congenital liar. 3 years. We have all the proof Trump-Russia collusion. We don't. He's compromised in this case. He needs to be a witness in this case. And it's not the Senate's role. We just established all of that to redo what the House does. The House has the power to impeach. They'll tell the Senate why you impeached him. And if you don't have a case, get out of here. You should quit the president, Republican senators. And let's just watch this, though, and you compare and contrast. You see the president, how he is received by we the people. And then you see this demarcation, if you will. I don't know the right word. It's a disconnect between the swamp and, let's see, LSU, Clemson, and here in Wisconsin. Couldn't be more clear.
Well, I think Congressman Scalise touched on this a moment ago. The American people are seeing the results of the president's policies. Bloomberg just came out with a study that shows since 1992, we haven't had a year like we did last year where no metropolitan area declined. Every city, major metropolitan area, either stayed the same or got better. And as crazy as that sounds, it hasn't happened since 1992. The unemployment rate's at 3.5%. We had 155,000 jobs created last December. Month over month, you have 3.9% unemployment rate over the course of his presidency. No president has gone below 4% in the first 3 years other than Trump. So the American people are feeling what a Trump presidency does for their lives, for their families, for their businesses, for their communities. And what's really interesting, Sean, is that when you look at the network coverage, right, and I know that you've been keeping up on this and harping on it night after night, but when you look at from September to January, there was less than 1%, it was 0.8 Right, 9 minutes of airtime paid to the economy and trade. So whether you're talking about the China trade deal, all these other deals that we've been talking about, the economy and all the good news that's coming out, 9 minutes of network news between September 24th and January 20th. Mark that in contrast to the 900 minutes that have been spent on this impeachment. The American people are seeing the results, and the news media and the left just don't want to cover it because they realize that that's good for his reelection.
All right, guys, thank you both. Congressman Scalise and Sean Spicer, always good to see you both.